The music industry is broken. I feel like we've watched a video on this channel about like how Spotify is corrupt. That was a really, really, really old video though. Like really, really old video that I did. Have you tried forcing the ponytail onto your shoulder? Like this? That looks, look at how, damn. Damn. Thick. Thick. Okay, sorry. Well, get ready then. I'm very, oh, I need to turn off captions. Do I have it on 2x speed? No, I don't. Guys, I don't know if you know this, but I watch all my videos in 2x speed. Is that bad? Is that bad? But like I watch like 3-hour videos on 2x speed. Like 15-minute videos I don't. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's not, you cannot convince me it's bad, okay? I'm not sitting here for a full hour and watching a video, even if it's that good of a video. There's no way I'm sitting here and like watching it for a full hour. That's so bad. It's not. I can watch 15 to 20 minutes though. I can watch chat. No. I can watch full movies, okay, when it's on my TV. I can watch full movies, okay? But I can't, like, even if it's like a commentary YouTube channel, I'm not even doom scrolling. I don't have TikTok. I barely go on Instagram, okay? I only go on Instagram to like my friends' stuff, okay? And when I'm on YouTube though, I like watching I don't know, like TikTok drama videos about like what's going on YouTube and like low-key VR drama videos. I like watching those as well. I put those in 2x speed, okay? 15 to 20-minute videos, I can sit down, I can watch it, okay? I've even watched a full hour, okay? Today, actually, I sat down and I watched a full hour of this guy speed running Resident Evil. Actually, I'm gonna show you guys who I was watching today. I fucking love his, like, genuinely. His name is Zero. I fucking love his videos. Look at this shit. Okay, move. Look at this shit, bro. I've watched all of these not in 2x speed. So I can do it. It's just, I just put it in 2x speed. I also put myself in 2x speed when I'm editing myself. I put my video that I'm editing in 2x speed when I'm editing myself. So, yeah.
The music industry is in an interesting...
I don't think it's that bad. I really don't think it's that bad. I've watched 4-hour plagiarism epic twice. That's crazy.
Place right now.
Oh, he has a cat. Okay.
On one hand, it's more accessible than it's ever been. It's more democratic than it's ever been.
Yeah.
And if recent trends continue...
No. I watched a video. I don't know if it was on here or if I watched it like earlier, but I watched a video about like how Spotify's pushing AI art now. It's crazy. To wear 2x speed privileges? No! Do not take that away from me, okay? Okay. Whatever.
It will soon be more profitable than it's ever been. But also, doesn't it kind of feel like it's completely falling apart?
Last week, 6 of the top 50 trending songs on Spotify
were AI
generated.
Yep. I was just talking about that.
My daughter's age, if I'm looking at what musicians are doing now, I wouldn't want to do this.
If you have a business model and that goes up 10-15%, you're in a lot of trouble.
I wonder how much you actually get like per streaming video on Spotify. I remember in the Spotify video, like I said, that I watched, it's like you don't even get that much. Also, they have a freaking, I want that. A full fridge full of Monster. Give me that. Give me that.
Well, it's double.
But there is a refusal to offer even a semblance of a sustainable revenue source.
I'm owed $30,000 in music royalties that I will probably never see.
A lot of bands that you love, they're gonna call it quits in the next like 2 years.
The industry as a whole is raking in more and more money every year.
Yeah.
But as with so many...
Also, off topic. Chatters probably won't understand what I'm saying at all because half of you guys are probably guys. I read Wattpad. I don't care. I'll put that on the internet. I read Wattpad. I read Wattpad every night before I go to bed. When I say I'm reading something before I go to bed, I'm reading Wattpad, okay? There's only specific ones that I read, okay? They're only the good ones. I know. I've been in this. I have been reading Wattpad since I have been in middle school. Like, beginning of middle school. I know ball. I know fucking ball, okay? And I'm pissed because these writers on Wattpad, right? I'm somehow finding, like, I only read, okay, fuck. Headphones off. I only read ex-readers. I only read X readers, okay? And you might come at me and be like, X readers fucking suck. Yes, half of them fucking suck. More than half of them suck, okay? But there are little great ones, right? Okay, so I was reading a Leon X reader on Wattpad. This is serious. This is serious. I was reading a Leon X reader, okay? Wattpad fanfiction, okay? And it's called oh shit, Mind Games. It's called Mind Games, okay? Holy peak of fiction. So good. I love it, okay? It's just so cringy that I fucking love it, okay? And I was reading it and I was scrolling from the chapters, scrolling from the first chapter, right? So you scroll on it and then you go to the next chapter, okay? Ad. Okay. I know how this works. I exit out of the app, I go back onto Wattpad, I open the fan fiction again, and I go to the first chapter and then I scroll again, because usually there's a glitch where it doesn't have an ad. They fucking patched it. I have to watch an ad. I have to watch a fucking ad, even if I exit the app and go back on. So my solution, my dog's barking. My solution to that is I have this launcher on my phone that it's like a separate launcher, okay? Because I have like these apps on my phone where it's like I have like a bear for the icon. So for like Twitch, it has like a bear over top of it. And it's like a widget thing, not a widget thing, but like it's for like my apps, okay? And when I click on it, it goes to like a separate page, and then I get to the actual app of Wattpad, right? There's like a little thing there, okay? There's like a separate window. I don't know how to explain it without showing you, but I don't want to show you my phone. Like, I don't want to show you what's on my phone. Like, it's a blank extra tab, and then I get to Wattpad, okay? So what I've done is I exit out of Wattpad, I go onto the actual app on my phone, okay? I click on it with the little widget icon thing, it opens up with a separate tab, and then I get to Wattpad, and then I can skip the fucking ad. You are shoving ads down my throat, Wattpad. I will not consume them if the author doesn't get paid for it. If Wattpad implements a system where, I'm looking right at the camera, bro. If Wattpad implements a system where every ad that I watch on Wattpad goes to the author from the fanfiction that I'm reading, I'll watch the fucking ads. I'll watch all of the ads, all the way through. I'll be fine. But Wattpad doesn't do that. Wattpad doesn't do that. They just have a site where you write fanfiction, you don't get anything. I'm so mad at that. Like, these people, what I was reading, yes, might be cringe to some people. I find enjoyment in it, and I want to give back to the author. I just can't. They're not, I'm guessing it's a she, but they're not earning anything from the ads. They're not earning anything from nothing. Like, why? Like, why aren't we doing that? Why aren't we doing that? And like they have like millions or whatever. Like Wattpad has like millions. Bro. Pissed. I'm so mad, okay? If you want to read Wattpad, you can. Don't fight who you are. I really like reading it, okay? It's just like, it's one of the things that I've enjoyed since I was in middle school, and I will never give that up. But I'm starting to become really annoyed because I'm like, I want to give back to this author who like wrote like something that I genuinely enjoy reading. And this is like my 4th time reading the book. I'm not even joking. It's my 4th time reading the fan fiction. And they're shoving these ads down my throat, and the author doesn't even get anything from it. Like, at least from YouTube. Yes, there's ads on my videos now because I'm monetized. Yay. But at least like, I hope when you watch the ads, you're like, okay, maybe she's earning some money from it or whatever. You can skip them if you want. I don't give a fuck. You can have an ad blocker. It's fine. But I'm just saying, like, knowing that these creators aren't getting anything. It's just like, why? Like, why have a platform? Now give us a T. What's the worst fanfiction you've read? So many. I can't even name them. Oh my god. I would read FNAF fanfic. Hell yeah. Not the ones about Toy Chica. Low-key. Okay, I'm not gonna say that. No. That's where that ends. Okay, I'm not. No.
Things in life. The majority of that.
That's it.
is concentrated at the top. Record labels, tech executives, and monopolistic middlemen make billions, while the bottom 80% of artists are forced into a death match with
I know fucking ball, guys. I know ball.
each other. As their costs go up and their revenue goes down, many smaller acts are starting to get priced out of the industry altogether. I want to talk about all the things that are causing this, but let's start with Spotify, since nobody has been more influential to the current state of music than the company that fundamentally changed the way we listen to it. My main source for a lot of the information in this video is this book by Liz Pelly called Mood Machine. And I would say my biggest takeaway is that Spotify has never, at any point, cared about artists. In fact, they've routinely done just about everything they can to both undermine and replace them. I think it's important to point out that the company wasn't even founded with the intention of being a music streaming service. The plan from the beginning was just to make a website that could sell ads. The content used to drive traffic to those ads was almost completely irrelevant.
Should it be product search, or should it be movies or audiobooks? And then we ended up with music.
The only reason they eventually decided on music was because they felt like there was a market for it. I'm pretty sure if they thought they'd sell more ads on pictures of feet, then that's what they would have done.
Okay.
Maybe I'd still be subscribed. And I don't bring this detail up
okay.
because this is my first day on Earth, and I'm just now learning that businesses like to make money. I know that's usually the case. I just like to point this out because it annoys me how much Spotify's founders have tried to retroactively apply this nobility to
I feel
their
like the
cause.
feet.
I did this, not
I feel like the feet joke has gotten to a point where, like, if you keep saying like the feet joke, it's like, okay, I think you like feet, bro. I think you like the horror stories of like I kept joking that I liked feet and then I actually ended up liking feet.
because I thought we could make a ton of money. I did this because I cared about the problem, right? I cared about music and I cared about compensating artists fairly.
The problem was to distribute music, not to give you money.
Guys, we were never trying to profit. We just wanted to save the music industry.
Nah.
And I swear, we're gonna start saving it any day. Now,
Nah.
to be fair, it's easy to overly romanticize the time before music streaming apps, as if back then everything was working perfectly and artists were just raking in revenue left and right.
Well, because people would pirate the songs, right?
20 years ago, the industry was struggling. Piracy had become a huge problem.
Guys, I just know everything that is to know about like everything in this video. I'm just like so smart.
Realize they could download
This is not a pre-watch.
the band's entire discography for free. Why would they keep spending 99 cents just to buy one song? And unless the plan was to arrest millions of teenagers for using BitTorrent, the most realistic way to counteract this was to create something just slightly more convenient in comparison so that people would see the value in paying for it. The problem for Spotify was that even while that income grew exponentially throughout the early 2010s, they just weren't able to keep enough of it for themselves. Sure, the only reason people use the app at all is to listen to the music that artists put on it, but that doesn't mean they should get most of the money. I won't rest until the guy who said, "What if we put Napster on phone?" is worth $10 billion. Oh, cool, I guess I can rest now. Now, the way monetization works on Spotify is that about 70% of the revenue that's made from subscriptions and advertisements are paid out to music rights holders, while Spotify pays their expenses with the remaining 30%. Now, I want you to remember those two numbers because I'm gonna refer back to them a lot in this video.
Okay.
And I'm gonna show you how that graph has slowly been morphing in the opposite direction. But let's start with the 70%. It's a common misconception that artists on Spotify are paid per stream, when technically that's not true. People often throw around a figure of like 0.3 cents, but that's just an estimate, and it changes all the time. In reality, there's a fixed pool of revenue that gets distributed every month based on the total number of streams across.
Want a break from the ads? If you tap now to watch a short video, you'll receive 30 minutes of ad-free music. I remember listening to that fucking ad every single day, also in middle school, because I was broke and I didn't have any money. So 30 minutes of ad-free music. Bro, it fucking, like, I remember doing that all through middle school, and then high school, near the beginning of high school, I got, well, it would be 8th grade is when I started working, and then I'd get my own money, and then I paid for my own Spotify. All the way through freshman year, I paid for Spotify, and then me and my family were talking, we're like, wait, we all individually pay for Spotify, why don't we just get the family plan, which is, like, cheaper? So it all goes on like one bill or whatever. So yeah, basically now from then on I've gotten Spotify for free because I need my music. I pay for my friend's Spotify premium because I'm nice. That is very generous. Wow. That's very
The
generous.
entire-
I would never do that. I pay for the only thing that I pay for right now, subscription wise, is my Crunchyroll subscription, which I actually use every day, and my friends have access to all of my Crunchyroll basically. That's the only thing that I've like freely lended out. But yeah, that's it. That's all I really pay for, because all I watch is Crunchyroll and YouTube. And then if I want to watch a movie, I buy it on YouTube Movie, and then I watch it for like ever. So that's great. Yeah. Yeah, I actually had to that also reminds me, I had to not call, but I had to like email my fucking gym membership, because the gym that I went to was like $50 a month. And I went there for about 2 months because I wanted to try it out, and I was like, I have my college pool now, I guess. So like I don't even need to go to this gym for the pool. So it was $50 a month, and I had to email them and be like, I want a refund. And they're like, here, fill out this like I literally had to email them personally and be like, I would like a refund. There wasn't anything online. I had to dig through it to try and find the fucking email to email them, and I was like, I would like a refund. And then they sent me another email, and they were like, you need to fill out this form, and I filled out the form, and then they're like, you need to check this box, and I checked the fucking box. I'm like, I don't want this on my fucking card. Bro. Like, I do not want this on my card, okay? $50 a month, that's a lot. So I was like, get this off, but I had to go through like 20 different fucking hoops. And I did not want to call because I hate calling places because I get so nervous. And I'm like, fuck, I'm such a chud. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. So I'd rather just email them. But it was like 30 emails, and I finally was like, okay. They're not charging me anymore. What are you saying? You pirate movies? That's how I watched Spider-Man day when it dropped. Odyssey and Demon Slayer? Wow. I don't think she wanted to call. Bro, I did not want to fucking call. I'm not spending $30 on a movie ticket. No, I 100% agree. The prices for movie tickets, disgusting. Okay, but I like the experience of going to the movie theater and just like with the popcorn and the drinks and like my friends or with my family. That is like 3 times a year, and it has to be a really good movie. I did that for Spider-Man. I did that for FNAF because the first movie, me and my friend went to see FNAF together, and then the second movie we saw together in theaters as well. That was like last year though. I did that for Spider-Man, I did that for Odyssey, and I did that for Obsession 3. That's it. 3. Because I like the experience of going to the movie theater with my friends. It's fun. It's really fun. But it's like $30 fucking. It kills me every time. I'm not happy about it. I'm like, oh. And then the popcorn. I get a small... Chat, what are you getting at the movie theater? I get a small popcorn. If I'm sharing it, medium. Never get a large. And I never get a drink because I always bring my water bottle with my bag. And if I really want, like, candy, I go to Dollar Tree. Nachos? Oh, nachos are so good. Oh my god. One of my movie theaters near me does, like, a $5 Wednesday thing, but I'm never home on Wednesdays, so... Popcorn too basic? I fucking love popcorn. I could eat so much of it. Don't buy the saver seats are too fucking close to the screen? Hell no. Hell no. Hell no. Okay, back to the video.
Platform. So if an artist were to have 1% of all the streams, they would be owed 1% of all the revenue. This means that while there's obviously a correlation between the amount of plays a song gets and the amount of royalties that artist receives, it's not as if a third of a penny gets deposited into their account every time you press play. Spotify is a zero-sum game, so unfortunately the more artists who...
Also, another side. I'm so sorry, this is like the 20th time. We're 4 minutes in and I've paused this like 30 times. It's gonna be a long reacts, bro. I can already tell. I went to the movie theater in Japan. I watched Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid movie in Japan. All in Japanese, by the way. They didn't have an English option. So, like at all. They didn't have any English option for any movie. Ever. Unless if it was like Superman, but I already saw Superman. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go in. I want to see what the etiquette's like. like in Japan, right? So we get our popcorn small as hell, right? Large looks like a small, okay? We walk into the theater, we sit down, and then it's quiet. No one's on their phone. The movie hasn't even started. No one's on their phone. It's quiet. No one's talking. Okay? Whole movie, no one talks. No one opens their phone. No one does nothing. And it was interesting because every single person that watched the movie stayed for the credits. There was no end credit scene, nothing. Didn't talk, didn't pull out their phone, nothing. Just fucking silence. Through the credits, and then they stood up and they walked out of the theater. And then they started talking. I was like, peak. There was like so many people in the theater too, and I was like, this is so peak. Because at first I was like, oh, maybe it's because like I don't know. I didn't know the movie theater like etiquette in Japan at all. And I just kind of was like expecting like American etiquette, which is being loud on your phone, talking during the movie, whatever. No, everyone was really, really respectful. And then they got up, they walked out, and my host family was like, did you like the movie? I was like, yeah, I like this part. My host mom actually cried at one part. It was so sweet. I looked over and she's crying, but she's trying to be quiet. Oh, it was so, I love that. But I didn't understand anything that was going on in the movie. All I understood was mom and dad. Like Ochichi, Papa, you know, Okasan. I was like, all right. That's all I fucking know. But yeah, it was very quiet, and I was like, this is so good. This is just peak. Like, everyone's so respectful. It's awesome. But yeah.
Succeed on it,
Yeah.
the more the revenue pool gets spread thin. This is where I think they should be taking a much harsher stance than they currently are on AI-generated music. I don't care how much the technology is improving. AI slop is soulless. It's completely unnecessary.
I fucking hate AI.
And more than anything else, it's that. The only way it exists at all is because it was trained without consent on decades worth of stolen data. And yet, it is rampant online. Hundreds of thousands of songs are uploaded every single day, and over 40% of those are estimated to be completely AI generated.
I was also surprised that Superman was in the Japanese theater, but low-key, also not, because they really like comic books as well.
Now, I don't want to see AI content anywhere. I have no respect for the people who use it, and I cannot wait for all these companies to run out of money. But at least when like an AI YouTube short blows up, that doesn't financially affect everyone else on the platform. On Spotify, though, it does, because again, there's only a finite amount of money to go around. According to a website called sloptracker.org, just the top
sloptracker.org is crazy.
10 songs from just 50 AI artists are responsible for millions of dollars being taken away from actual artists. And this is a very small sample size. Now, some people have tried to theorize that these songs could be a low-cost way for Spotify to attempt to recoup some of the royalties they owe.
Yeah,
because if there just
crazy.
so happened to be a song on the platform that Spotify owned the rights to, then that percentage of stream share would get redirected right back into the company. And I'm not accusing them of that, but at the very least, they're certainly not doing anything to stop it. And even if they don't agree that AI art is inherently theft, the way that these artists have become so prominent is extremely suspicious. There's another website called SongStats, which for pretty much every artist shows a graph of how their Spotify playlist reach
God, did it like shoot up?
Fluctuated over time. You'll probably notice that these tend to be all over the place. For real musicians trying to get their work listened to, it's a roller coaster. It is completely unpredictable. And now let's take some of the top AI artists and look at theirs.
Boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom.
Interesting shape. That doesn't look like the other graphs. This is Inley, who currently has about 800,000 monthly listeners. And look at some of the playlists she's been in. Blues Mix, Morning Glow. These are official Spotify playlists. Here's one of the biggest ones I found, Breaking Rust, whose music sounds like it was trained on 30 hours of Chevy truck commercials.
Ford F-150.
Just a few weeks after they released their very first song,
Damn.
they were already on playlists, seeing by 3 million people. What about the Velvet Sundown, who a lot of people were debating about last summer? Day 1! The day they put their music out, they were already in these giant playlists. How is that
Holy.
possible, right? How could anyone look at this and say that it happened naturally? Whether or not Spotify is personally responsible for making these things, their immediate and completely inorganic rise to fame is suggestive of something that should be against their terms of service. I mean, they removed the music of
Yes, I saw that. Holy shit, I saw that. Yeah, YouTube is making it so that like a view on a long form video is counted. Yeah, the second you play a video. So my question is, Solaria, I haven't done that much research on it, even though I should because this is what I'm trying to, you know, do for a living. Not for a living, but like do for like money. So when you click on the video, I know like when you click on a YouTube video, it plays an ad. Does that count towards your video? Or does the ad have to play and then you watch the video and that counts as a view? That's what I'm interested in. And also, when is that implemented? I have no idea when that's gonna, like, it hasn't already rolled out. I don't know.
legitimate artists all the time.
The ad has to finish first. That makes sense. That makes sense. 24th. The 24th. See, the thing with that is, wouldn't that be bad? Because the videos that are going to be recommended the most are going to be just thumbnail and text. Like, thumbnail and title. Like, it's not going to be actually, like, good. Because, like, to count a view, right, it has to be, like, let's just say a minute. I don't know what it is. But, like, let's just say it's, like, you have to watch a minute and then it counts as a view, right? It's probably not a minute. It's probably more than that. But, then the videos that are at the top do well because their actual video is engaging. Like, it's actually engaging. But with this new thing, if you just click on it, what the fuck? Like, the only top things would be, they wouldn't be interesting, they wouldn't be engaging. Also, wouldn't you get, like, no money from that as well? You get, like, 3 million views, but you get, like, I don't even know how much that is. That 3 million is actually a lot. Let's just say you get, like, 10,000 views, but they only watched the one ad, which is, like, a minute, and then, like, 2 seconds of footage. Like, that's... Oh my god. Yeah, I see. So rip audience retention if that's how they're gonna count views. Yeah. I honestly doubt that this shit would last long. I don't think it will. Because, like, that's just so bad.
Actually, for much less
Like,
nefarious
genuinely.
statistical anomalies.
Like, the top videos aren't even gonna be that good of videos. It's just gonna be title and thumbnail.
So why is it that specifically with the Velvet Sundown, they turn the other way? I don't know. I'm just asking questions. Follow-up question. Can you guys watch this brand deal real quick? This video is sponsored by Opera.
No.
In the description
Okay,
or
there we
in
go.
the pinned comment below. Thank you to Opera for sponsoring this video. In the early 2010s, in an
I could open 100,000 tabs and it would lead to 100,000 views. That's so cheeks. Please don't do that, bro.
effort to increase
Please don't do
engagement
that.
on their app, Spotify began a heavy push
Oh,
towards something
God.
they call lean back listening. The idea that music isn't so much a piece of art to be intently listened to, but
There
rather
is no way. There is no fucking way that they implemented the second screen with movies to Spotify. What?
just like a constant
What?
hum that plays in the background of whatever you're doing. So they began to curate and promote playlists based on activities or vibes. Are you studying? We have a playlist for that. Going to sleep? We have a playlist for that. Breaking the news to your cousin that even though there's undeniable chemistry between you, the two of you can never be together simply because society deems it wrong. Believe it or not, playlists. The popularization of playlists and the opportunities
Ew.
that emerged for all the artists that got picked to be in them actually changed the way a lot of music got made. Artists would start reverse
Interesting.
engineering the writing process to appease the algorithm. Songs got shorter, they got simpler. They would start with the most interesting part because as long as people got
Oh,
through
like the
first 30
chorus?
seconds, it would count as a play and then your stats would go It's too risky to have a slow burn intro because you're just giving the listener more opportunities to skip it. And if they skip it, it tells the algorithm that your song sucks. And then they're never gonna put it in a playlist and no one's ever gonna listen to it and you're never gonna make any money and you're gonna
Yeah.
be working at Popeyes forever. But while artists
Damn.
were busy trying to figure out how they could navigate the system, Spotify was hard at work pulling their own strings in the background. In 2017, the same question started getting asked by more and more people. Who's making all these random ass songs? Why are they ending up in so many playlists? Artists with a stock photo as their profile picture, with no bio, no website, no contact information, nothing that would indicate they're a real person trying to become a working musician. And yet some of them have songs with tens of millions of plays. Because, like a lot of the AI artists of today, they were snuck into official Spotify playlists. Again, no proof that Spotify's behind any of these. In fact, I've even seen one example of them outright denying it. So I'm just gonna take their word for it. But I will say, they also denied similar allegations in 2017, and that turned out to be a flat-out lie. No, we don't game the system, bad people do. And we're good. Turns out, no, actually. Several musicians...
Yo, Spotify on PC fucking sucks. It sucks. Queuing is awful. Because on phone, I can just swipe it, but on mobile, I literally have to click the 3 dots and then click freaking add to queue. Freaking just trying to find a song in my playlist is awful. It's just awful.
Have since revealed that they used to have a gig with Spotify where they would just record a bunch of 2-minute long instrumentals that then Spotify would upload to their platform under random pseudonyms. Just a bit of investigation revealed hundreds of artist profiles accounting for millions of dollars in royalty payments that Spotify gets to keep because they're the ones who commissioned it. And it's not like people were going out of their way to listen to these songs. Spotify has the power to force them in front of as many ears as they want. Former Spotify employees have talked about how strongly they were urged to prioritize these songs while curating playlists. Liz Pelly in her book uncovered internal documents that showed they even had...
Imagine working at Spotify and you get to make playlists. That would be awesome, bro. That's your job. Hell yeah.
Aim for this perfect fit content. And by 2023, hundreds of these massively promoted playlists were filled almost exclusively with these kinds of songs. Even weirder though, the source of a large percentage of this music, a company called Firefly Entertainment, is owned by someone who has a lifelong personal relationship with one of the higher ups over at Spotify, and he's made hundreds of millions of dollars in streaming revenue the past couple years. That's one hell of a coincidence. Now, an important detail here, and what I hate to admit makes this kind of a smart move on their part, is that the playlists they did this on tend to serve as background noise. So not only are people less likely to notice if a song is not as high of quality, but by nature, these playlists are designed to be listened to for way longer than you would an actual song by an actual artist. Let's say one of your favorite bands just released a new single.
4 unskippable 10-minute ads. Fuck.
And you love it. Over the course of a couple weeks, you listen to it 100 times. But also every night to fall asleep, you put on a gentle ambient piano playlist and let it run for 8 straight hours into the morning. Well, unfortunately, that means that at the end of the month, about 99% of your subscription revenue has contributed to a bunch of anonymous, faceless stock music that you weren't even awake to hear.
Damn.
And the remaining 12 cents goes to your favorite band for them to spend however they want. It's not like real musicians don't make this kind of music. They used to get picked to be on these playlists. This used to be a huge source of traffic and revenue for all of these small independent artists that Spotify pretends to care about. But now they've all been cast aside. They used their music to popularize these playlists before slowly replacing them with songs that they own.
Wait, oh my god. Wait, that's low-key so smart. Oh.
Right. In 2018, they wrote a blog post about this instrumental guitar.
I don't use Spotify playlist. I just make my own playlist. Fuck you. I want to listen to the songs I want to listen to.
It's named Lance Allen, whose life was changed when one of his songs got picked up by Spotify's Peaceful Guitar playlist. And within a couple of months, he had started earning enough revenue from streaming to pay his mortgage and even buy a new car. He was propped up by the company as an ultimate success story, a personification of this new era of self-sufficient musicians. Now, they ran this blog for 2 reasons. One, it makes them look good. It helps them brand themselves as the artist empowerment company.
My bad,
Remember
never
when
mind.
we saved music? Remember when we did that? But the other reason they posted this is because it's an advertisement. If it can happen to this guy, it can happen to you. You just need a little nudge to get started, and we can provide it for you. It was around this time that Spotify started rolling out more promotional features specifically targeted at artists. Marquee ads, playlist pitching, this entire campaign kit that's often presented as more of a necessity than a luxury. They know that a lot of struggling artists are desperate for a break, and by using people like Lance to show that a better future might be possible, they're now able to monetize that desperation. They have made millions of dollars off of independent artists by selling them on a dream. Just a few years after this blog was posted, after using these kinds of stories to advertise their promotional tools, Spotify had all but abandoned people like Lance. In 2023, he took to Twitter to express how impossible it had become for him to compete with the stock music farms taking over the platform. And today, when you look at the same playlist that once helped jumpstart his career, there doesn't seem to be a single real person on it. The final evolution of Spotify flexing their muscles in the face of independent artists was a tool they released in 2020 called Discovery Mode. By opting your songs into it, you increase the likelihood of having them recommended across the app. And in exchange, Spotify gets to keep 30% of your revenue. Pretty quickly, a lot of people in the industry were comparing this to something called payola, a common practice in the 1950s where labels would bribe DJs under the table to play their songs on the radio, gaming the system and making people think they were way more popular than they actually were. Payola became the subject of a bunch of lawsuits, investigations, and even arrests before being outlawed in the 1960s. But like a lot of things that used to be illegal, just give it enough time and someone will find a loophole to make it okay again. The argument that Spotify makes to try and differentiate their program is that you don't have to pay any money up front. You pay on the back end. So it's different. But it works exactly the same way. The order of the transaction doesn't really matter when they've gone on record to brag about how many artists they've gotten to sign up for it and how many hundreds of millions of dollars they've retained as a result.
But first, let's talk payola. That's pay for play.
You cannot buy your way onto a playlist.
If anyone offers you pay for play to get on a Spotify playlist, it's a scam.
Hey, you can't give money to some website to end up in a playlist. That's wrong. If you want to get in playlists, give that money to us.
It's a scam.
Now, you might have been thinking through the past couple sections, Drew, this is all very interesting, and you're looking weirdly handsome today, but I don't listen to Spotify playlists, so none of this affects me. And it's important to point out that the algorithmic
that's what I was saying.
These songs applies to
That is what I was saying. I don't listen to Spotify playlists.
Every method of discovery across the app. So that could be
never mind. You know how I find music? I go on one, like I have a okay, wait, let me start over. Lock in, okay. Restart, okay. I have a song I really like, and then I scroll down, and there's like a little tab thing, which kind of looks like TikTok, like you kind of scroll and you listen to the different music. It's like similar to blank, similar to this song, and then I click on that, and I scroll through it, and I add songs that I think I'd like.
Playing after you finish an album, any radio mix from a song or artist, your Discover Weekly, your daily mixes. Hell, even if you just accidentally click the shuffle button twice and turn on this stupid feature, you are being served songs.
I fucking hate Smart Shuffle. It's so ass. At
a disproportionate level. Even though
it recommends songs that are not what I want.
Spotify has long been putting less emphasis in their officially curated playlists and more in their individually generated ones. They're all still made using the same algorithm. An algorithm that is increasingly being influenced by pay to play. It's honestly kind of crazy that Spotify is able to monetize the same product in both directions.
That's
Listeners
crazy.
have to pay in order to hear music that artists have had to pay in order to be heard.
Oh my god. Oh my god, they're genius. Max profit, bro. Like, actually, like, hitting the roof max profit. That's crazy.
Created a problem in order to sell you the solution.
That's
Discovery Mode
crazy.
is often described as a win-win for everyone. Even though that's literally not
Not
possible,
how
'cause it's
that
not
works.
creating any more revenue. It's just distributing it differently. If it was truly a win-win for both artists and Spotify, well then everyone should sign up for it. But then what would happen if every single artist did? Whatever algorithmic boost they received would then be offset by the fact that somehow everyone else needs to get boosted too. Effectively, nothing would change. Except of course that Spotify would get a 30% discount on every single song that ever plays algorithmically. And from looking into it, it kind of seems like this is already starting to happen. I'm wondering if they reached a point where too many artists signed up for the program and now now it's not able to do anything because there simply aren't enough plays to go around. Don't worry though, I can almost guarantee that in the next couple of years, they're gonna put out some revamped discovery mode, a higher tier of visibility for just a little bit more. Wait, you're still only giving away 30% of your revenue? Yeah, good luck with that, buddy. Everyone else is giving away 80%. In the early days, Spotify was able to use their giant pool of investor money to inflate artist payouts to make it seem like it was worth putting their music here. And so they did. Everyone did. And now they don't have to overpay to convince people anymore. Artists are gonna come here no matter what. They have to. The industry runs through Spotify. Their subscribers have multiplied to unfathomable numbers, while the cost of that subscription has increased
and fucking increased, bro.
Every 14 months like clockwork. And yet, individual streams for independent musicians have never been worth less. And now we're at the inevitable part of every tech endeavor's life cycle where the priority moves from gaining.
How much is a family subscription for Spotify? $21.99. Premium individual would be $13. 13. How many people live in my house? How many people live in my house? Me. Oh, 4. 13 times 4. Yeah, we were giving Spotify $52 every month when we could have been giving them like 21.
Market share to strictly profitability at all costs. So they will continue to cut corners and underpay for content and inshitify their product, hoping you're too loyal to take your business somewhere else. Meanwhile, their CEO, who is richer than any musician in the history of the world, has used that fortune to invest over $500 million.
He's richer than Taylor Swift. That's crazy.
Into a company that makes strike drones for the military. In a world full of terrible corporations run by awful people, Spotify seems determined to vault themselves up to the top of that list. And yet, when it comes to music, there's still not even the biggest.
There's a fucking song that used to play at my work. You guys know Pink Pony Club, right? Yeah, there was a song that used to play at my work of this guy singing. It was a guy singing Pink Pony Club. As if that wasn't worse enough. But it was horribly auto-tuned. Like, so... It was like a deep voiced guy singing Pink Pony Club. But there was like auto-tune to try and pitch up his voice. I don't know what was wrong, but it sounded uncanny. It was really bad.
Source of evil.
Yeah.
Historically, music has always been a top-heavy, exploitative industry. Young artists would get signed to aggressively long contracts that they didn't fully understand until years later when it was too late because they were trapped in it. In the 1990s, Prince went through a years-long public dispute with Warner Brothers over creative and monetary disagreements. It got so bad that in protest, he changed his name to an unpronounceable symbol. The label tried to use his publicity stunts to frame him as this like spoiled, crazy diva, but he was just fighting to be paid what he was worth. Sure, he was making a lot of money, but it still paled in comparison to what Warner was profiting off the back of his labor. And when he was finally able to get out of that deal and self-fund and self-promote his own work, he proved that he had been getting screwed over because he made infinitely more money even on tours and albums that were less commercially successful. In 2007, after their record label was unwilling to renegotiate with them, Radiohead put out their In Rainbows album.
Oh, I fucking love Radiohead. Oh, I love Radiohead.
Online using a pay whatever you want model, even if the amount that you wanted to pay was $0. And yet, they made more money distributing it this way than they had from all of their previous records combined. But it does beg the question, what the hell?
No, that's crazy. That's crazy.
What kind of deals were these guys signed to where they could sell millions and millions of albums and barely see any money from it? Well, for starters, it wasn't uncommon for artists to be owed a single-digit percentage of the revenue made from their work. Not that they owe 5% of it, right? That's how much they get to keep. Even on the high end, that number tends to be about 15. When you first sign that deal, though, you're not worried about that because the label is going to lure you in with a number that blows your mind at a time in your life when you're probably broke. So when they offer you an advance of, say, $250,000, you're going to say, do you have a pen? Where can I sign? And you're made aware that that money isn't actually yours to keep, that it's just a loan that you have to pay back, blah, blah, blah. Whatever, you'll figure.
You have to pay that back? Oh.
Figure all that out later. For now, what matters is you're confident in yourself, and that number represents legitimacy. You made it. You are a professional musician now. So you go and record the album while renting a lifestyle that you're not yet able to afford. And if you're lucky, that album does well. Really well, actually. You sold 500,000 copies. Your music has already generated $5 million.
Damn!
Great. I'll take my 15%.
What would you do for $250,000? What would I do? I don't know. If it's like, I was thinking like push-ups. I think I'd do like, I'd do a challenge where like I'd have to do like 200 push-ups in a row, probably.
I'll deduct the advance, and I've got a pretty sweet payday for myself. Well, not so fast there, Rockstar.
You only get 2% of that 5 million.
We're not done subtracting. The advance wasn't the only loan. Every single resource
300. I'll do a challenge where I try and do 300 push-ups. Not right now. I'd have to build up to it, but I'd have to do 300 push-ups by the end of 2027.
we provided to you needs to be paid for as well. The deal was you had access to them, not that you get them for free. So we're just gonna make a few small adjustments, and before you know it, somehow owe more debt than the amount we loaned you to start with. With each subsequent album, you only fall deeper and deeper into financial ruin. And you're one of the successful ones. But as bad as this is on paper, it's usually even worse in practice. Because oftentimes, the other companies that you as an artist are—
I cannot do 300 push-ups by the end of 2026, bro. That's like a couple months away. There's no fucking way, bro. I can't even do one push-up right now.
Forced to do business with are also owned by the record label. So per the contract, we're able to deduct certain production costs before we calculate the amount that you are owed. Well, the thing is, we actually own the factory that produces all your CDs. And so the price for that is— how do I put this? Whatever we want it to be. We can say a bunch of them broke. We can print and sell records we never even tell you about. Dude, we can pull numbers out of our ass. The more money you earn, the more deductions we'll come up with to offset. And this process is never an accident. It's very much part of the business model. For example, back in the 40s and 50s, vinyl records were pretty fragile, which made them susceptible to breaking or scratching in transit. So to account for this, there would generally be a flat, like 15% reduction in revenue owed to the artist. Now, if common sense were to be applied, you would think that as the industry moved away from vinyls and into nearly indestructible CDs and cassettes, that this—
like genuinely a cartoon villain. Like genuinely. Oh, like 200 of the CDs broke. Now you have to now you owe us that money.
Charge would go away. It did not. Even into the digital era, where we're talking about MP3 files, many of those breakage fees were still incorporated.
What?
It is total nonsense. It is highway robbery. An accounting firm that was referenced in this book, who was responsible for thousands of audits regarding hundreds of millions of dollars in royalties, could recall only one time ever where the audit revealed that it was the artist who owed money to the label. I can't believe they just kept making the same error over and over again, and it always worked out in favor of the labels. That's crazy. There's—
Bro, I'm not— this isn't a pre-watch, okay? We just linked up with what you were saying.
So many coincidences in the music industry.
That's
but we're still not
insane.
done. Because even then, they're not just gonna give you that money back. They're gonna look you in the eyes and say,
fuck you.
What are you gonna do about it? Sure, if you're successful enough, you could try to take on a lawsuit and fight a battle.
But then the lawsuit becomes too much money. That's crazy.
Could earn you a decent settlement, but most likely you're not going to want to do that because they have all the resources in the world to out-lawyer you and waste all your money until there's none of it left. So they'll offer a fraction of what they owe you and hope that it makes you stop whining. But be careful,
stop
you
whining.
might have pissed them off. They might be holding a grudge against you. That next album that you owe us, you still have to record it. You still have to pay us for it, but we're not going to put it out. I hope you enjoyed making music while it lasted, because that's over now. This is the kind of exploitation that happens when power gets consolidated at the top. When the labels that you can't live without control every part of the machine that you are forced to use.
Artists generate so much money for so many people that have nothing to do with the creative process at all. There's no road you can go down
that the artist isn't fucked.
But things started to
Damn.
change pretty drastically in the 2000s. The rise of the internet brings on Napster and eventually LimeWire. For the first
Fire.
time in decades, overall music revenue is declining. But remember, most of that money was going to record labels. So they were also the ones losing the most of it.
You see, I'm not a Napster fan. It seems to me like people are getting ripped off.
It's interesting because the artists don't get paid anyway.
Piracy may have been bad for the music industry, but in a way, it might have ultimately been a good thing for musicians because it caused a long overdue disruption. It took power out of the hands of people who'd been abusing it. Then social media starts to take over. Suddenly fans can talk directly to their fans on MySpace. They can post about their shows on Facebook. The labels are now losing their status as the gatekeepers. Many of the marketing tools they offered, the things that they were able to justify taking 99% of your money for, were kind of becoming obsolete. Fast forward to today, anyone can upload music to a streaming service. Anyone can build a fan base. And in fact, a label won't even think about signing you unless you've already built a pretty big following online. Then at that point, it's like, what do you even need them for? You've done the hard part. They're probably just gonna swoop in, take as much of your money as they can, and then drop you as soon as your fans move on to someone else. So then the question is, how are they still able to get away with it? I thought we democratized the music industry. How do the labels still have so much power? Well, this is where record labels and Spotify intersect. Now, when you talk about record labels, there's a whole bunch of them, but there's really only 3 conglomerates that matter. Sony, Universal, and Warner, sometimes referred to as the majors or the big 3. Thanks to their obsession with gobbling up every single thing they come into contact with, they now own about
Sony Studios, Universal Studios, holy shit.
70% of all recorded music in history. I cannot emphasize enough that anybody who tried to do what Spotify did, which was to put every song ever made in one place for a small monthly fee, couldn't have made it even 1 inch without bending over backwards for the record label. It doesn't matter how good their user interface or algorithm is.
They
if
need
they
the
didn't
music.
have the music that people want to listen
That's
to. So
crazy.
the majors have always had extraordinary leverage over them, and they've maximized the hell out of it. They negotiated massive advances from Spotify with no guarantee that any of that money would trickle down to their artists. They got a bunch of free ad space that they would typically just sell with no guarantee that any of that money would trickle down to their artists. And they also received a significant amount of equity in Spotify, about 18% total. I think maybe the most insane detail I learned about while making this video happened in 2018. At the time, Spotify is quickly becoming the industry standard. Their user base is growing every year, the company's getting bigger, but they want to open up the floor to more investors, so they're ready to launch their IPO. But around the same time, their licensing agreement with the big 3 labels was about to expire. Oh my God, talk about leverage. The labels had Spotify by the ball. They could have renegotiated just about anything because if they didn't like the terms, they could have just taken all their artists off of the platform right before they go public, and it would have completely destroyed them. Because who's gonna invest in a music company that doesn't have any music? So what did the majors do with all this power? Well, they negotiated their rates down.
What?
They asked for less money. Why would they do that?
What?
You're asking? Are they stupid? Well, we need to refer back to that pie chart from earlier. Now, even though most of these royalties end up going to record labels, some of them end up in the disgusting hands of independent artists. And we hate them. Their greed is ruining an otherwise perfect business model. But then even the money that does go to the record
Your greed sickens me.
labels has to be shared with all of our stupid artists. And we hate them just as much. Sure, we've already made it so it's as small of a percentage as it could possibly be, but it's still not nothing. We'd prefer if it was nothing. If only we could leverage
I was joking.
Work to make hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars without having to owe them a cent. Well, here's where that equity comes in. When they lowered artist royalty rates, Spotify became a more valuable company. This meant their stock price went up and the majors could cash out for more.
There's a FNAF musical? What?
They figured out how to get paid.
I don't like musicals, chat. I don't like musicals. The only musical I like is Into the Woods, the movie version. Movie version of Into the Woods, okay, that was good. And the Odyssey musical on YouTube. That's about it.
Anyway, but with money that their artists
Fell Asleep During Hamilton. That's the only other musical I've seen. Hate High School Musical. Camp Rock, I didn't like that either.
artists have no contractual claim
Yeah.
to. But that wasn't the only benefit, because they also have something in their contract with Spotify called the Most Favored Nation Clause. And what that means is that nobody else outside of the big three is allowed to negotiate higher rates with Spotify. So when they lowered the rate for their artists, they in turn also lowered it for everybody else. Even if you don't
Bitches! Oh my fuck. What a bunch of greedy motherfuckers, bro.
work with a label.
Ooh, low key. Batman Riddler on the roof. No. I do like what's it called? Greek mythology. I do like that.
They will still find ways to screw you out of money.
Yeah,
Now, unfortunately,
actually.
record companies hoarding the majority of the money their artists earn for them is nothing new. It's been a staple of the industry for at least the past century.
What the
but
fuck?
the good news is live music is thriving. Ticket sales are high, and musicians of all sizes.
I am seeing so many artists this year, guys. I'm so excited. You have no idea. I'm so excited. You guys are just saying random shit now. Pokemon The Return of Mewtwo. Y'all are just saying random shit. Oh my gosh. Dear Chris. I haven't seen that one. All of those are musicals? No way. The Pokemon one is a musical. There's no way.
Are being fairly compensated, at least according to an article I just read from March 9th, 2020. Wait, let me make sure nothing drastic has changed since then.
Chat, I'm seeing Somber. Do you guys know who Somber is? Yes, but I don't listen. I fucking love Somber. Chat. I wanted to see Billie Eilish in concert, but I guess Somber will do. Somber. This guy. I like his music. I'm seeing him. I bought tickets already. This is my first concert. I'm so excited. Wow. Do you listen to Slipknot? No, that is in my metal playlist though. Yes, I really like his music. Somber and Billie Eilish are the only two people that I'd see in concert, and maybe Sabrina Carpenter because I like most of their, if not all of their music. But you guys know me, if it sounds good, I'll have it in my playlist, you know. I'm very picky.
If the record industry is a story of three companies owning all of the music, then the live event industry is a story of one company controlling the entire mechanism by which concerts operate. Since merging in 2010, Ticketmaster and Live Nation have...
I fucking love Billie Eilish. When is she touring again? Is she gonna tour again? She better. Billie Eilish tour. Oh, Emiru's live, guys. Emiru just went live. Oh, she's still on tour. Never mind. Oh, she's in North America. Ew. Oh, wait, no, it's concluded. Never mind. Oh, fuck.
bulldoze their way into a monopoly that controls every part of the transaction. Not only do they own most of the biggest venues, but they've made it so the only way you can buy tickets to those venues is through them. And now that you have no other choice, we can charge all kinds of exorbitant fees. Service fees, processing fees, convenience fees. Come on, guys. Isn't this convenient? And the monopoly goes in every direction, since most artists are forced to work with them as well.
If they want to take 10% of the revenues and call it a facility fee, they can and have. If they want to charge $30,000 for the house nut, they can and have.
Some good news, the government sued Live Nation back in 2024, a lawsuit that recently reached a settlement. One of their processing fees, which was revealed to be pure profit and didn't actually cover any costs, is now illegal. News. They just moved it over to a service fee instead. At least with streaming services, you can say that the customer is getting a good value. $12 a month for 1 trillion songs, and I can listen to the Hours of Silence podcast. The prices aren't the problem. It's just what happens money later. But with live music, Ticketmaster's monopoly only drives prices higher and higher and higher. Couple that with a rapidly worsening economy for the average person, and attendance rates are going way down. Some huge artists with massive streaming numbers numbers have had to cancel entire tours because not enough of their tickets were selling. And yet, if
What?
you ask Live Nation CEO, he'll say
Damn.
they're still not expensive enough.
Average
What?
concert price is $72. The concert is underpriced. It's like a
I like going to, I have been to a concert. I've been to a Hugh Jackman concert. That was when I was like 10. No idea. I went with my mom and my sister. We were in the nosebleeds. I don't know. And then I went to this really small, like, I think he was underground, but it was like you buy a ticket and then you show up and it's standing. There's no seats. And you kind of just go in. It was really cool because he was like with his band. He was up front. He was like doing all this stuff. And then he went into the crowd and was like just walking around with this guitar. I thought that concert that I went to with my mom, I don't know the artist. I didn't listen to it. My mom did, but she was just like, "Do you want to go with me?" I was like, "Sure." I liked that a lot more than buying the tickets to see Hugh Jackman all the way in the nosebleeds. Plus, I'm scared of heights, and that kind of freaked me out, but yeah. Underground concerts scare me. What if the ground collapses? Oh my god.
badge of honor to spend 70 grand for a Knicks courtside. They beat me up if we charge $800 for Beyonce.
One of the biggest causes of price gouging is the resale market. Now, an artist might try to set a maximum ticket price on one of their tours because they want as many of their fans as possible to be able to afford it. But unless they have enough negotiating power, there's nothing stopping the secondary ticket market from swooping in and ruining it for everybody else. A 2016 law called the Bots Act was supposed to make it illegal for scalpers to use certain technology to buy large quantities of tickets and resell it all for a profit, but Ticketmaster could not give less of a fuck about that. When a ticket gets resold through their website, they get to collect service fees on it twice. One, when the scalper first bought it from them, and then an even bigger fee when they resell it for a higher price. The resale market is a huge factor for why tickets have ended up so expensive. But it's important to remember that any of that profit from a resale doesn't make its way back to the artist. To them, the transaction ended when the first sale was made. So even though they tried to make the ticket more affordable, their fans still had to pay twice as much anyway. Only that entire profit ends up in the hands of Ticketmaster and the person or company who resold it, which sometimes is also Ticketmaster. The artists lose, the fans lose, but the giant company wins again. Now, these had all been growing problems for years, but where shit really hit the fan was during COVID. The industry got decimated, especially for smaller venues and musicians. But many of the ones that did survive have seen their profits drop to an almost unsustainable level. I wanted to ask some touring musicians about the business side of things, so I drove up to Gainesville, Florida to talk to my friends Sergio and Andrew, who at the time of recording were about halfway through their tour with the band Dance Gavin Dance.
Let's break down like a tour. We do 2 buses, 1 bus for the band and 1 bus for the crew. And then we have a semi because we have production, lighting, and all of our sound gear, all of our in-ear monitors, and then all of our backlines, so our amps. So when you do all of that, now you've got probably $300,000 plus right out the gate for a month plus long tour for just transportation. That doesn't cover gas, which is higher than ever.
Let's say, you know, a fan spends, just for math's sake, $100 on a ticket. That's a lot for a fan to spend, but you take all these costs away and all of a sudden the amount of that's actually going to the band, what percentage goes to everyone who reaches their hands in?
Management agent, just on our team's side of things, 30%. Already gone. Your Live Nation, your extra fees, things like that, that's usually an extra 10%, sometimes 15, in some cases 20. The abstracts would be your expenses. It's usually about 50%, sometimes more on bigger tours. That leaves maybe $10 to $20 out of that ticket that goes to the band. And then it'll be split 4 ways. So it's like 20. If there's 4 members of your band, you're usually getting $5.
Now, Dance Gavin Dance is doing well for themselves. They're one of the bigger touring bands out there right now. But by extrapolating this cost structure out to most bands that are a fraction of their size, you can see how it's becoming increasingly difficult to turn a profit from touring. And that's kind of a problem, because historically speaking, that's where most of their money is supposed to come from. I'm nervous for the future of the industry for the same reason that I'm hopeful about it. People are always going to make music no matter what. It's an intrinsic part of our lives. It's one of humanity's oldest art forms.
But taking that and turning it into just a business model, like taking the arts and making it into like just a greedy ass business where it's like money, 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 money. Bro, that's insane. That is just crazy. And even if you want to do it on your own, like he said, it's like $5 that you're making a profit. And the fan is already spending so much money to see you. Like, fuck. It's just fucked all around. Like, that's so... Oh, it's so cheap.
Musicians would make music for free.
Music has been around for, like, ever. Like, ever. Like, we need music in our lives. Like... And to just see that and be like, I can capitalize on that. I can make so much money. Bro, frick you.
They would do it even if they lost money. It just sucks that a lot of people know that, and so they seem determined to make sure that they do. I think the best way to support musicians, especially if they're independent, is to try to buy directly from them. Bandcamp is a great way to do this. Your money's gonna go a lot further there than it is on streaming services. But also physical versions of music, CDs, vinyls. I love collecting.
I like going on artists, like if they have like I love buying like artist merch and stuff. So I always try and look for that. I've been trying to look for a Grimes t-shirt. I love Grimes. You guys know how much I love Grimes. I mean, I love all of her music. I think it's just so fucking good. Like, genuinely. But she doesn't have any merch.
Vinyls. I've been doing it since before I even had a record player. Nobody wants to sell you objects anymore. They just want you to sign up for a cloud subscription service. But I like owning physical objects that I can touch and look at and that represent
Oh my god, guys, hang on. I gotta show you something. I haven't shown anyone this. Unopened as well. Bang! Do I have a CD player? No. I got this in Japan. Wow. Yeah, it's in Japanese. It's in fucking Japanese. Alien Stage. I fucking love Alien Stage. I love Alien Stage. It's so good. Oh my clematis. That's not the song. I haven't opened this. So let's open it together, guys. Do I have a CD player? No. Ooh. I'm keeping it in the sleeve. Wow. You can't sell it? I'm not gonna sell it. It's gonna be mine forever. There's something else in here. Oh, little baby. Oh, it's a little baby record. Look. Oh, I think it feels plasticky. I don't think I could actually use it. That's so cute though. And that's it. That is it. But I saw that they had Alien Stage stuff at like a store. I bought that when I was in Japan last summer. Let's look up CD player prices. Yeah, I actually don't have a CD player. I can't get this back in. Oh, fuck. Oh, God. I'm gonna have to shove it in there. Yeah. That's crazy. I kind of forgot I had that. I'm gonna put that in here. I have like a little side section. What the hell? Let me just make sure you guys can't see anything. And then I have this that I got from Japan. And I have this that I also got from Japan. I want to go back, guys. I want to go back so bad. Someone selling a CD player for $5,000? Fuck. No, just go to Goodwill, bro. Honestly. 1998? That's crazy.
Piece of art.
Anyways, yeah, I just wanted to show you guys
that I love. The fact that I can also listen to it is kind of just a bonus. Streaming can be great for music discovery. I mean, sometimes it's nice to just have a machine play a bunch of songs until they find one that you like. I canceled my Spotify a couple years ago, but I still use YouTube Music because it's included in premium and I was already paying for that anyway. And I found a lot of cool bands from it. It's a useful service. But I also don't want to take it for granted, you know? Just because it was easy for me to discover an album doesn't mean it was easy for them to make it. If someone's music adds value to my life, I want to try to give some of that back. And I don't think the 2 cents they're getting for my subscription revenue is gonna cut it. Now, what I wanted to do for this video was secretly put out some of my own music and document the journey of trying to be an independent musician in 2026. But obviously, music takes a lot of time. You gotta learn an instrument, you gotta write something, you gotta learn how to record it, you gotta put it out, you gotta figure out
today I'm gonna be using AI to do it for me.
what the hell DistroKid is. It's not the kind of thing you can just pull out of your ass in a couple of months, you know? So I decided that if I was going to do it, I should probably start 4 years ago.
Oh.
In 2022, my friends CJ and Julian asked me if I wanted to go jam with them in a U-Haul storage unit. And I said, sure, why not? Even though I knew why not, because the thought of playing guitar in front of other people made me want to shit my pants. But I also knew that sometimes the only way to grow as a person is to do stuff that scares you. I wish it wasn't. I wish you could grow just by playing on the computer. But pretty soon we started practicing once a week and then twice a week.
That was green. His hair was green. That is green. Am I colorblind? That's green. Chat. Yo, I see green. Yeah, okay. Holy shit. I was like, oh my god.
Then our friend Kevin joined the band, which meant that Julian and I could both play guitar instead of taking turns pretending to know how to play bass. At that point, we had already written a bunch of songs, so we decided it was time to play them in public.
Made me want to shit my pants.
The first show we ever did was an open mic at a kava bar, where for some reason I wore the shortest shorts that I owned. Our next show was at another kava bar where we were way too loud, and then we played a hardcore show where we were way too quiet. This show was a nightmare for me. Nobody liked our music. I said thank you like 100 times. And during the last song, which was supposed to be like our big heavy closer, I was getting so much feedback from my amp that I had to turn off my distortion pedal, and then no one could hear me. And since our music is instrumental, it's kind of important that people can hear the instrument. I left that show questioning my entire existence.
Damn.
Maybe I'm not cut out for this. Maybe I should just
quit.
Give up. And then our next show was the best one so far. We did a couple more shows here and there, but then we took a break to focus on our real goal, which was to make an album. We had the space to record it. We had started buying the equipment. Kevin was learning FL Studio. We had a bunch of songs. So instead of just dropping like 1 or 2 singles and moving on, we decided we're not going to put anything out until we finish an entire album. Plus, how long could it take, right? 3 months? 6 months? 2 years! Turns out when you're 4 adult men with 4 adult jobs, 3 if you don't count YouTuber, there are only so many hours a week you have to devote to your instrumental emo band. So finally, after months of staring at the back
I don't know how to play an instrument. I don't know how to sing. I got nothing.
Kevin's head, we exported the album. We hired our friend Alexa to do the artwork. The only direction I gave her for this was like, I don't know, maybe something with a bird on it. And then she hand painted this beautiful masterpiece. It's actually too good. It's better than our music is. For real though, we're all extremely proud of this album and the work that went into it. And we'd love it if you gave it a listen. It's like half the length of this video, so you can't tell me that you don't have time. You could have listened to it twice already instead of watching this crap. Actually, for all I know, you could have already listened to it. We put it out back in March of last year. So here's what the past 15 months has been like. At first, things were better than I expected. The YouTube videos get like 100 views right away. One of the most gratifying moments of this entire process was getting like 3 comments from people saying, I don't know how I got here, but this is really good. At one point, I saw that somebody Shazammed one of our songs, and we talked about it for a week. So everything was going pretty good, and then like a month later, it completely stopped. Turns out it doesn't matter how much time and effort and money you put into music. If you throw it up on streaming services and don't tell anyone about it, it's probably just going to disappear into the void. There were weeks where I'd get an email from Apple that were like, hey, just letting you know, nobody listened to your music this week.
Damn.
Keep up the good work. It really does feel like we put a drop of water into the middle of the ocean.
That's how you found me. Yeah, see, you gotta do, okay, I watched Ludwig's video, okay? You gotta do, what did he say? What did he say? It's like, I keep wanting to say trickle-down economics. That's not what it is. But it's like, you gotta, like, do, like, cross-platforming and stuff. Because the Twitch sucks, okay, with trying to be, like, discoverability or whatever. So, uploading on YouTube and doing, like, it's like cross-platforming. Like, you gotta do, if you want to be good on Twitch, you have to at least upload on YouTube and do TikTok, but I don't do TikTok, so.
just waiting for people to find it. I guess it also probably doesn't help that our band name has terrible SEO because it's a word that already exists but that we purposely spelled wrong. On some platforms, you can't
Trickle down economics. I've heard that word so much, it's like engraved in my brain. I can't think of anything else.
find it even if you're going out of your way to. But a couple months ago, I decided that it was time to lock in and that I would earnestly navigate some of the artist engagement tools the internet shoves in your face. I'd started using the band's Instagram page more to post about shows and connect with some other bands, and I could tell that already Meta had all of the information they needed to categorize me into what I can only assume they call their desperate artist program. Because suddenly every single ad I got was about posting banner ads on Spotify or having a website analyze my songs so they could pitch them to playlists. Oh my God, this interface is so predatory. They are doing everything they can to convince you that they're on your side. What do we get out of this? Nothing, man. We just want to help a brother out. Now, if you wouldn't mind giving us $40. And what the fuck is this? Your analysis is expiring in 10 minutes?
Damn.
How?
I fucking hate when they put the... I hate when I'm at checkout and it's like, you have 10 minutes to buy this right fucking now or else it'll be gone forever. Like, especially with movie tickets, I'm like, you're stressing me out. I hate timers. God damn, they stress me out so bad.
What, are you gonna forget? My trepidation turned to joy, though, when they told me that my sophisticated arrangement makes me stand out from amateur producers. Wow.
Nice.
I'm flattered. They also told me I had a 74 hit potential. I had no idea. Who was gonna tell me I was sitting on top of a gold mine? Out of curiosity, I tried another one of my songs. It's called Golden, and I wrote it for the Netflix original movie.
Gotta be golden.
The K-pop Demon Hunters. And oh my God, the craziest thing happened.
It's the same metrics.
They told me almost the exact same shit, except they only gave this song a 72. That's right. My instrumental guitar band has more commercial potential than the 7th most popular song of 2020.
Oh, wow. Birds of a feather. What's Ordinary? I've never... Okay. I've heard of this song, 1 and 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, 6 I've heard, 7 I've heard, that's about
5. Well, I guess that confirms it. They're just lying to me to try and get my money.
Scammers.
Or they're telling the truth, and I'm gonna perform at the Grammys. Better get my credit card out just in case. Before I fully give up on this website, though, I do want to try one more track. It's kind of niche, it's a little vulnerable, but I'm just curious to see if maybe somewhere out there there's an audience for it.
Oh, God.
It's called 1,000 Farts, and it's an hour long. And would you look at that?
It's the
this
same.
one has the highest score so far.
Wow.
This could very well become the most popular song ever made. The more I engage with these ads, the more it confirmed that I was interested, and then any future ads I got seemed like they weren't even really trying that hard. Yeah, we actually don't know anything about your song. But just give us $100. Come on,
my God.
What's the worst that could happen? You die? I don't think that could happen from this.
Did someone actually die?
Just give us $100. I swear on my life, I will try my absolute hardest to get you on Top White Girl Music 2026 Songs to Sing Along, Best Song to Listen to at Parties. And if that doesn't work, we could always try one called The Best Songs Ever. Sure, that seems like a realistic place to start. The sheer flood of similar websites honestly made me distrustful of this entire cottage industry as a whole. But for the video, I wanted to try at least one of them. So I ran a campaign on Submit Hub. Now, I have no idea if this is any more legit than these other websites, but at the very least, I think it's been around the longest. But just like the ones from the ads, immediately asking for $100. This time, though, I paid it. And then for the next several days, I physically winced every time I opened my email to see a roundup of the process so far. Rejection after rejection after rejection. Everyone generally had nice things to say. Hey man, this sounds great. You guys should be proud of this. I'd fucking kill myself before putting it on any of my playlists, but good luck. I'll give Submit Hub a little bit of credit for at least being transparent. You can see exactly how the curators listen to your song. The problem, though, is that in some cases, how they listened to it was barely at all. I also realized in
Skipped.
hindsight that I probably shouldn't have let them auto-pick the curators after guessing my genre. And I should have tried to find playlists with music that sounds similar to me and then manually targeted those. But at the same time, the one playlist I feel like we probably had the best chance of getting on didn't even listen to half the song or give any feedback. And this cost me money. I had to pay this person. The low point of this process for me was when Submit Hub emailed me an AI summary of all my rejections. I also could have just copied and pasted them all into Grok, but thanks for doing it for me, I guess. Not really sure what I'm supposed to do with this.
Oh my god, deadass. It says ChatGPT. Oh,
these people wanted our song. What, am I going to frame this on my wall? Yes. For a little over $105 song.
Did he actually?
Am I going to frame this on my wall? Yes.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
For a little over $105, I ran a couple of decent meta ads, received entrance into one playlist that will, at best, net us a handful of streams, and I got a ChatGPT summary of everything I'm doing wrong. Now, I'm not saying that my bad experience should discount all of these services entirely. Obviously, it works for some people some of the time. But it sure seems like this is just yet another opportunity for one more pair of grabby hands to lunge towards your pockets as you try desperately to make waves in an endless ocean of content.
That's why low-key, like on YouTube even has like a part for like the YouTube studio where it's like boost your video. I am never fucking doing that. I already spend enough time editing videos, producing videos, like doing like streaming on Twitch. It's not that hard of a job, but I'm such a cheapskate. I am not going to pay you to boost my video. Why would I pay you to boost my video when the algorithm can just do it for me at some point? You know? I don't want to, like, I don't want to pay you. Yeah.
For saturated.
It's not a good video. Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. Yes. Sure. Yeah, that's what that's what I'm trying to say. Like, just trying to boost my video, like, I'm just giving you money to boost a video that wouldn't do well, and because it's not doing well right now, so why would it do well when I boost it? That's stupid.
Music gets, the more common these kinds of websites will become, and the more people who will try to profit off your optimism before it runs out. Getting anybody to give a shit about our music felt impossible, but at the same time, it didn't really bother me that much. Because we didn't make this music with the hopes that it would, like, go viral. We made it because we wanted to. We wrote the exact kind of music that we like to listen to.
Yeah.
This album...
That's what I do with YouTube. I want to create videos that I feel like I would like to watch, and I wish were watchable. I already talked about, like, my whole, like, YouTube journey thing when I did my Joe Bart video, but yeah, I just like making videos, you know? Getting paid is kind of like a side thing.
Only exists because we made it exist. And no amount of rejection emails will ever take that away from us. A lot has changed for us the past year. Julian left the band and we've had to kind of reconfigure as a three-piece. But we're still writing a lot of music and we still play shows every so often. If you want to see more of what we end up doing, follow us on Instagram. We also have a YouTube channel that I'm going to post some playthroughs on. And I'll probably throw some other random shit out there too. So subscribe if that's something you're interested in. I do have to mention though, the incident. On May 27th, we played a show at Will's Pub. We were opening for a really cool band, I Met a Yeti. It was an awesome night. Everyone had a great time. But somebody took a video of it and put it on TikTok, and now everybody knows my secret. I cannot believe that I successfully hid this from the world for 4 years, and then like 2 weeks before I plan on making a video about it, someone else beat me to the punch.
Damn.
Not cool, bro. But I guess it just goes to show that everything I said in this video was a total fucking lie. Music's easy. What are you guys whining about? All you have to do is be a YouTuber for 9 years.
All you have to do is be a YouTuber for 9 years, get 10 million subscribers, and then do music on the side and post it on YouTube too, so people can listen to your music.
But don't make any music. Not yet. Once you've given it at least 5 years, you can start a band with your friends. But don't tell anybody about it. It needs to be a surprise. Without the
Okay.
surprise, this doesn't work. Just keep
No.
chipping away at it in the background. Spend an unbelievable amount of time.
I never
on it.
knew it was that easy. Oh my god, that's crazy.
Record an album, release the album, make $18 from it
Each.
and wait an entire
Each.
year. Only then can you play a show at a local bar in Orlando, have it recorded by a random stranger who uploads it to TikTok where it goes medium viral for a couple of days, probably less so because
Yes, they are upping the requirements. That doesn't affect me though. I kind of skirted by the requirements. They're upping the requirements where it's like originally it was 4,000 watch hours. I'm pretty sure that you had to have in a year to get monetized on YouTube. Now it's 8,000 watch hours to get monetized on YouTube. And then I think that's the only thing they're changing about it is the watch hours. But that is to try and weed out the AI like slop channels because they keep getting monetized so fast. I don't think that'll do anything, honestly. And at this point, like, it's so much harder for like smaller YouTubers to even hit 4,000 watch hours, let alone 8,000 watch hours. It took me a while to hit 4,000 watch hours, guys. It took me like forever of upload, like 6 months of uploading to even hit like 4,000 watch hours and then 1,000 subscribers. But to get 8,000, that's like double that. Like there's no way. That's crazy. Just sign up for YouTube and post Bollocks, you'll get 30K in one day. That shit pisses me off, bro. This is so true. It's so hard to get 4,000 watch hours, let alone 8,000, and I'm not even using AI. What the fuck? And I feel like that's not gonna do anything to limit the AI videos. They'll just keep posting, bro.
people like the music and more so just because it's kind of interesting you're even doing it at all. And that was my master plan. It may have—
Guys, I'm actually not human. I'm all AI. Yeah, fooled you guys. I am AI. I'm actually a dude. I have an AI rigged suit. Yes.
taken me almost a decade, but it was all worth—
This reacts is very, very much AI. Thought I found my new favorite streamer. Sorry guys, I hate to break it to you. I'm actually AI. I'm not
when
real.
I saw our monthly listeners on—
We got a
Spotify
minute,
go
we got a
from
minute.
Measly 109 all the way up to 175. Wait, is
Hell
that it?
yeah. Oh.
That video got like 1 million views. Even in just the past 4 years since we started dicking around in that storage unit, I feel like I've already seen corporate greed price out so many artists from the industry and so many fans from being able to participate in
I
it. But
know.
I also realized that there's a thriving local scene that I had no idea about until
Aw.
I started going to shows and meeting all these really cool musicians, a lot of whom are now my—
We gotta finish
Maybe
this
it's
video.
not
I
always
gotta-
realistic to spend $300 on nosebleed tickets at a sold-out arena. But who knows? There might be a free show happening right now at a non-profit venue inside a bowling alley.
Hell
Your
yeah.
new favorite band might be performing in a
Chill.
bar 2 miles from your house.
Music
Okay.
is worth making. And if you feel the need and you feel the burning passion to want to make music or art or in general, do it.
Recruit your friends. Get out and meet people. You might not be able to film your own music video, but your friend has a camera and has a film experience and wants to get involved in a project.
Okay.
Develop your friends. Develop each other. Like, get into a scene of people and build those relationships up from the ground up. And I think beautiful things can come of that.
Oh, that was the end of the video. Well, that was a fire video.